I mean, please tell me I'm not alone, but was that not even crazier than last week's episode of Go Go Loser Ranger? Which I didn't think was necessarily possible, sure, matching it, but between the double reveal, just casually a man opens a closet and finds our hidden waifu. I'm thinking she gonna jump him, kill him, gonna be crazy. He offers a hand of friendship and gets blasted by the guardian angel of death. That's crazy. D decides to casually reveal to this guy, and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. And then it looks like we win because Yellow over here is like, hey, I like chaos, I want to see what happens. And then we get robbed, and now we have to go into round 3 with all of this. Like, what the hell just happened? Full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my mind break in real time, I'm going to be over there exclusively. Jesus, this show has been a treat. And it's really good and really nice to witness so many people, like, recognize this show's greatness, because when it first started airing, the first couple of episodes, people were like, I might give it a shot, or there's too much anime. But boy, when we were right, we were right. This show was special from minute 1, and it's just good to see people appreciate it the longer it goes on. I can't even pick a favorite moment in this episode. The entire package of this episode just threw me for a loop. We have double reveals, big ass death. I mean, I gotta assume dusters don't have noses, like in terms of a sense of smell, because D would have been able to smell the rotting corpse in his broom closet. I assume that's gonna bite him in the ass at some point. Like, there's gonna be one of the normal, like, rangers or ranger trainees are gonna smell a rotting corpse, and then he's gonna be like, what are you talking about? And they're gonna be like, well, how could you not have smelled it this whole time? You've been sleeping here. It's gonna bite him in the ass at some point, but, I thought there was a flood coming. So she escapes her little broom closet, and she's like, I thought she was examining the pipes, but turns out she was sending a kind of SOS message. The way they were framing it with, like, the water coming down, it wasn't, like, extreme, but I was like, oh, there's gonna be, like, a big flood or something, it's gonna go crazy. And instead, no, the character who we're talking about in this episode and has been set up as, like, this crazy, like, what is this? Is this a boss that ran away? That's been my impression the whole time, like, didn't seem like a general grunt soldier, unless the grunt soldier did steroids and, got a new outfit, because otherwise looks completely different than the average dusters. It just casually comes in, she calls him Lord, so got that authority under his belt, and just blasts him. I did expect that she was going to kill the Blue Ranger who was, like, offering a hand of friendship. I thought she was going to stab him in the throat or something. And if someone did it, I thought it was going to be D. I thought D, just said, we can't get exposed here. But it's just, like, the way it happened and how she was just as caught off guard as we were. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what's going to happen? Turns out they must have the Mr. Clean magic eraser or something, because that room was spotless by the time D got back there. And, yeah, they just tossed his body into the closet. This poor bastard comes to fix a closet, replace it because he realizes that there's just too much damage, and gets brutally killed after offering a hand of No, and the thing is I kind of believed him, because he's like, hey, there's a reason I took this job. I don't like fighting. I'm like, that makes sense. Still a little weird that you're offering a hand, but I guess when you look at it, if you have, like, a more pacifist kind of look, if she's been in the closet the whole time and there's been no, like, attacks or anything, he could just make a logical decision, and that's how he gets rewarded. Wowzers. Though probably the funniest thing is the fact that D wanted to betray, I don't know what his name was, Shion or whatever, and then Shion ends up betraying D, and he basically has the Pikachu face of, like, wait a second, is that okay? I was gonna do what he did. But it's wild because you basically have the central, like, when you think of the main leaders of the Rangers, those 5 D-bags are basically the, like they have the same energy as the current ones. So they fit right in line with this world, but the idea that we make a little makeshift team, and the fact that we just casually were given the key, this is what's so cruel about it, is the fact that, like, it's in our hand. We're not because here's the thing. As long as the timer's still going, you can steal from other people. And just the fact that they just casually yoink it, and now we have to go into the 3rd day, the last day, sweating bullets. Of course, it makes for an exciting episode, but in terms of a slap to the face, it's like a sledgehammer to the face. And they are going to make it their mission that they don't pass, and that is what's so cruel. But seriously, the punch and how it revealed that he had, like, every time something was revealed this episode, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a fever dream. I thought it was a misunderstanding or something. No, like, they just did that. That has to be my biggest, like, because here's the thing. Real Hibiki's nowhere to be found. So I guess giving another character who we could maybe talk to and maybe have know our secret, I don't know. But, I feel like half this episode, my mouth was just hanging open because I'm like, wait, are they actually committing to this? Apparently, they're committing to this. Okay. This show has impressed me. This show has impressed me greatly. It's like easily in my top 3 of this season. 100%. It's just so different. Produced wonderfully. It just, in a weird way, doesn't feel like anime, but it does feel like anime. It's like in this middle ground. Like, I don't know. It's not exactly the same, but anyone who's seen stuff like King's Avatar and stuff like that, you know, you feel more like it's anime influenced, but it's like, you know, produced in China or somewhere else, where it's like, it just has a different vibe to it, and in doing so, it makes it pop out all the more. Like, that's the best way to describe it, and I love every second of it. But, explosive, that boy did not deserve to die, that's all I'm saying. I'm also loving the VA cast. Like, I haven't talked about it much in terms of, like, all the new Rangers cadets that we've been seeing, but their VAs are just doing so well for their performances. And honestly, that's why, like, when characters kind of pull the rug from under our feet, I actually find myself a little more shocked, because I'm like, yeah, our fake Hibiki betraying people makes sense, but I actually wasn't expecting them to do it to us before we could do it to them. But props, I guess? Let me know what you thought down below, because, I truly think this was way more exciting than last week. And last week should be the most exciting, but it's just like the narrative and how they directed it just was even better. If they manage to top it 3 times in a row, like the third day is even better, I will be blown away. But I'm okay if like they go back to like last week's episode in terms of what they do, because that was great. But thoughts down below, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can notify when I upload more, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we have Andre, Darthwin Wright, Magical, Eric Barton, the James CR7, Alexander Perez, and we also have Jeff. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and I guess if you ever find yourself in a tournament where you have to protect something until a buzzer goes off, put it in your shoe, swallow it. Like, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't keep it more in their shoes to begin with, but you get my point. Hold on to that bitch, because someone's gonna yoink it because they're just cruel, so have a good one.